Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. Namaskaram. This is your host Sree Iyer. I am with Professor R on what is a very important evolving topic, the exit of Rajinikanth from Tamil Nadu politics. Professor RV, Namaskaram and welcome to PGurus channel, sir.
Namaskaram, welcome to the audience of PGurus. Yes.
Sir, somebody was joking, Rajinikanth is the only politician to exited before even entering.
Yeah, that's correct. Which is true actually.
Yes.
He never entered. Anyhow, I thought I will first and foremost is his exit is not something unexpected. It's not something as a shock, at least for me and quite a large number of people. His entry was actually totally unexpected. In the sense, he announced that he is going to. He has been told for a long period of time. I recollect once Chu telling he will not do it for the reason that he is not made of that metal. To be in politics, you require to have. For instance, you should be prepared to even go to jail if required on a short 1 day or 2 day even. And Cho was not very sure about it. Anyhow, let that be aside. Now, many people are expressing surprise about his exit, telling that, see, couple of things people are not adequately focusing. Of course, one reason could be that I was told last count some 30 channels in Tamil are with the DMK only. So that could be one reason. Anyhow, see, he went for a film shooting, which is of that of Dayanidhi, Kalanidhi Maran. And there are reports suggesting that as high as 100 crores was given to him for this movie. I do not know the veracity of these claims. Even if it is 10 crore, let us take it at that. And and Dayanidhi and Kalanidhi are very close to each other, and they are part of the DMK family. Everybody knows about it. Even though there were some misunderstanding about disposing of the shares of Sun Channel. At that point of time, Karunanidhi was supposed to have been unhappy and other thing. Anyhow, so first and foremost, we went there for the shoot. And it itself is a puzzle. And after announcing entry into politics, he would like to continue to have the shoot, and he said that I have to finish it. And I do not know how many more commitments he has got under the Sun banner. That is another interesting thing one should probe. Second is, at the time of announcing that he is going to enter into politics, etc., he had one gentleman, Arjun Murthy, as his along with him. Another one was one Manian, Tamil RV Manian. But more than Manian, the Arjun Murthy was with the BJP. And more important is, he was earlier known to be a political advisor of Murasali Maran, the father of the Marans, actually. And during NDA time, Vajpayee as Prime Minister, when Maran was the Cabinet Minister, he seemed to have been one of the close advisors of Maran. This was denied by his son, Dayanidhi Maran, but not convincingly. There are enough independent reports suggesting that he was really close to the senior Maran, who is no more. A point I want to stress is, nobody seemed to see the hand of DMK in this actually. DMK was not very comfortable that Rajini is entering into politics, because they thought at least a couple of pro-DMK votes might be cut by Rajini. One is, many people may not be aware or maybe knowing about it. Quite a number of this Rajini Fans Association, what they call Rajini Rasigar Mandram or some name is there. Quite a number of them are belonging to Islam as well as Christianity, the in charge of those places. And they were never going to go for any other than Rajini in the sense. And so to some extent, DMK felt some of its votes might be cut or reduced in the sense. And in Tamil Nadu last assembly election, even earlier, some of the constituencies are won by 1,000 votes, 1,500 votes, another thing. Some are as low as 100 votes. But forget about 100. I'm talking about even 1,500, 2,000 votes matter a lot. And if Rajini, because of his influence and other thing, could get even 1,500 votes, that could decide about, for instance, between DMK and opposition, then obviously, it's not going to be helpful to them. So if you ask me, I see actually the hand of DMK in this. One is the Kalanidhi's shooting, going all the way to Hyderabad, and maybe those things are true. Some 3-4 people got COVID and he was admitted to hospital and everything. Second is, more important is, one of the most relieved party is DMK, actually, in this. Of course, ADMK was not very, enthusiastic about Rajini entering, because they thought that they will be forced to have some sort of an alliance with them, another thing. Anyhow, Rajini not entering has become more or less. And of course, there are some people telling that he will guide, like in 1996, at the time of election around February, he will show his hand and whom you should vote. And I don't think those things will carry much weight now, once he has not entered after announcing another thing. And quite a number of his followers are very disappointed. Let's be very clear about it. Not all of them are, completely enthusiastic for him to take rest, because they are arguing that he could have done that, couple of months before itself. That I would like to, because his kidney transplant took place quite a number of years before. Not
2016. 2016.
not yesterday or anything. And plus, it is well-known fact that COVID will impact people who have got these type of complication. So anyhow, so is showing hand another thing is not going to be very helpful. Now, what may happen is the most important thing. In the southern side, Adagiri is planning to have some sort of a formation, whether it will be a full-fledged party or independent standing everywhere, because he is extremely unhappy with his younger brother. That is something which we should remember. He is not happy, and his son seems to be had some amount of one would not call affiliation, but some amount of sympathy toward this ABVP, VHP, and other pro sort of saffron type of outlet. Anyhow, he may stand to that extent. He will have influence over 20-30 constituencies, not necessarily winning. He can at least cut the DMK votes. Then what I call minimum is expected to be released. That is the what one can call an assistant or friend of Jayalalitha, who is inside jail. She is Chinnamma. She is expected to be released, and she seems to still have enough amount of support within her party. Of course, people will argue she is corrupt, and that according to me, that's a futile argument in India, and more so in Tamil Nadu. It's extremely difficult to locate a politician who is not corrupt. If you do locate him, he will be in a picture only, like Kamaraj or Rajaji or something, in the hanging in the walls. That's the only way you can locate him, not in terms of actually present today or anything. So she is extremely God fearing, and also very, I would say, positive towards national unity, patriotism, and other thing. For instance, even Jayalalitha in her time supported scrapping of this 370, building of this Ram Mandir, so many other type of issues, in spite of her predilections towards Tamil Nadu and various. Anyhow, so she will also have some influence. And in case the ADMK recognizes the fact, and then absorb her as some sort of a mentor or whatever you call it, Margadarsh or something, and have some MLAs as per her guidance, then it will be a very good thing for the ADMK. If they don't do that, then and in case she continue to evince interest in politics and support some candidates who are not a part of this, then that will be advantage only to the DMK. It will split the two leaves thing. And if two leaves itself is frozen, some attempts are being made by some people. Anyhow, I would be very interested in knowing what is going to happen in the southern part of the Tamil Nadu. And all, with all, guns blazing, this sister of Stalin, stepsister, if you may call, actually of Stalin, She is campaigning all over the place, and she is slowly trying to occupy the place of being a leader of Nadars. Her mother is a Nadar, so she tries to claim that thing, and particularly those who are Christian Nadars. That's a very large chunk actually in the coastal belt. So she is also eyeing, and she could be another pole. And if you ask me, among the lot, she is the most dangerous of the lot, actually. A, because she can think, and unlike her brother. B, because she can also plan very well, and she is supported by the global church, according to me. So there are a lot of things going for her. So we have to wait and see. If suppose there is of course now the BJP has to decide whether to go it alone or go along with AADMK. That's the only choice for them. If they go along with AADMK, they may get some 15, 20 seats or something. Not more than that, definitely. Because now ADMK has gained an upper hand. Because Rajini is not entering. They will be in dictating. And in between, these people created some problem or some noise, like NDA has to decide the candidate for the chief minister. And practically in Tamil Nadu, NDA is ADMK only. There is nothing. So they may give some 5 seats or something to this Vijaykanth group. They may give some 25 or so seats to the Mango group, that is this 1 year group, namely Patali Makkal Kachi. That's all, nothing more. And in case BJP take the plunge to go alone, I don't think, either way, I think they may get some 4 or 5 MLA seats only, not more than that, their impact wise, and spite of lot of. So it is going to be again the two combination, primary, DMK and ADMK, along with these smaller groups like this Seaman, who is having his own Nam Tamilar group, who is supposed to be for liberating Elam from Sri Lanka. That he is telling for quite a long time. He has collected huge amount of money only, I think, from abroad. And Elam from Sri, I don't think anybody in Elam itself is interested nowadays.
What about VCK, sir? Even VCK is doing the same thing, isn't it?
No, VCK will stick along with this DMK, as long as the PMK is sticking along with ADMK. These two cannot go together. That's the only thing, because one is supposedly concerned about Dalit, the other is supposedly concerned about 1 year. So this is the VCK will get its own crumbs. Stalin will say that okay, you stand, because he has already made him an MP of all the thing. He would have never imagined that he would become a. So, and also, one Rajya Sabha seat or something, he will be accommodated. That's all. Now, this Seaman group, Kamala Hassan, and possibly Owaisi group, Islamic party from Hyderabad, they may all form a third front, or which will impact DMK, not others. It appears Stalin's son had an informal meeting with Kamala Hassan. One doesn't know how much these news reports are true, because now more sponsored news and false news comes compared to what are known as genuine news. It's very difficult to fathom, but the report suggests that they met and Kamala Hassan was offered some 20 seats, and he is not very enthusiastic. Anyhow, in case he stands separately, but objectively, if you look at it, there is no difference between these groups at all. ADMK, DMK, any KKK you put. What is the basic difference? BJP, Congress, all of these. There is, all of them are sort of middle of the road social democrat. All of them want a government to, provide all sorts of help to people. Whether, it is for the girl. What I call, all of them are for nationalizing families. If you ask me in simple language, what is that nationalizing families? Couple of years before, one young girl was going to school and she was interviewed in a Tamil channel, and she was carrying her books and other thing in a bag, and she was asked, what is your name, and she was studying some 5th or 6th standard or something. She was asked, who is giving you these books? She told Chief Minister. Then she was asked, who is giving you food? Chief Minister. That time Chief Minister name also she told. And who is giving you education? She told Chief Minister. This is what I call, families have been nationalized. Nobody recognizes that their father or mother is doing anything for them. So completely families are getting nationalized. To the extent, this what I call nitwit or half-boiled, I will call him, Kamala Hassan. He says he will arrange a committee to study the contribution by housewives in doing housework, and correspondingly they will be compensated. I don't know who will compensate him, how it will be done, another thing. So the whole idea is, marriage is a burden, and children are encumbrances or further burden. It's not, there is a intrinsic joy and happiness of having children and, bringing them up. That idea is gone actually. And he is half-boiled because he had some, I think, three or four, two, three marriages and some live-in relationship. Nothing worked out, I think. Anyhow, so yes, what I want to say, this is an extreme case of nationalizing families of the highest order. So there is no ideological difference. You take somebody's manifesto, you take somebody else's manifesto, you change the name of the party, it is same. Maybe plus minus, 100 rupee more one fellow will be promising, another fellow will be, and all of them are for abolishing corruption. That's the highest, biggest joke which is going around. Everybody wants to abolish corruption. Otherwise, you know, I don't, I don't see any reason at all. And all of them are casteist parties. So that's why, 8% more reservation, 4% more, 11.5%. This is the major, what you call, worry of all these parties. And all of them claim they want to abolish caste. Only in India this can take place. Parallelly, you announce you want to abolish caste. And also parallelly, you talk about getting birth certificate based on caste.
Sir, I
This
have a
is
question. Kamala Hassan is an Iyengar. Where does he get his votes from?
he thinks he thinks he will get his votes from all this what one can call revolutionary youth who want change. That is what he is. He may get 4-5% votes, quite possible actually, because he symbolizes some for them. He announced that Godse is the first Hindu terrorist in the country, and like that. He makes some extravagant statements and get away with it, and some of the his followers are very happy with him. But he is having, I think, I am given to understand, he is having some problem in funding his activities. Many of his followers are not forthcoming to fund it. One doesn't know, but he is a rebel without a cause, you may call it. Not rebel without a cause. Rebel without causes are plenty, and rebel without cause is every day morning he will come. He is something like that. Shiv Sena leader Raut in Bombay. If he gets on the left side of the bed, he will attack Congress. If he gets on the right side of the bed, he will attack Modi. If he doesn't get up from bed at all, he may attack his own party leader. God knows. So he makes, he lives on sensational agent provocator, you may call him actually. He makes some, suddenly he will say India will be split like USSR. And he thinks that India is something like a cake, for his birthday, where, you give a knife to your daughter and she splits it into 4-5 portions. Like that, anyhow, and then that goes on for 2-3 days. There is a debate on it, and should he have told it, another thing. He smiles, and so this man is exactly like that actually. He has got some this paper, this media, what you call both TV channels, and nowadays print media is not so popular, but you have this YouTube and various other channels which are, they also want, they are very much what you call dried of news. They want some. Suddenly yesterday, for instance, there was a news item that BJP is propping up Nirmala Sitharaman as Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Some bizarre type of, any type of claim. Anyhow, doesn't matter. They all, they all want to have some, what you may call, sensational news, and some of them are totally, unverified or unverified. I remember in those days, Karanjia of Blitz used to openly say, to publish your news, I will have to be given 50 rupees. I'm talking about 60s, 70s. And not to publish a news about you, you have to give me 500 rupees. So, and not to publish is more important. because he gets all these scoops and other things from, and he will call the businessman and tell, I am going to publish it. You want me to not publish it or publish it? They obviously say don't publish it. Then fine. That. If you want me to, promote you, I'm 50 rupees. So like that. These are very, and many of their journalists are also very substandard actually. They are not very, greatly trained or anything. So they will ask some stupid questions. 1,000 mic will be there. And then today I was seeing one girl reporter literally hugging that farmer leader. She goes, touches his shoulder, touches his cheek, and all the thing to get the news. She is very near. And there is a huge crowd of these, what one can call TV channel people. So Tamil Nadu also, no. But only one thing I'm worried about, and that's my forecast. But I wish my forecast doesn't come through. Sometime I wish like that. I got 101 rupees from my colleague at Calcutta when he told that Indira Gandhi will win after the Janata experiment. 76, 78. Then there was a poll and she won the poll. And that time also I told I am very sad that my wish forecast has become a truth. You have to give me 101 rupees, but that's a different issue. So like that, today I feel whether DMK loses or gains, it doesn't matter. Tamil Nadu and Kerala, I think, will see enormous amount of upheavals by the Breaking India forces. It's a huge amount of groundswell of support they are getting. If DMK loses, it will be more dangerous because, like for instance, now Congress is more or less, combined with the CPM in Bengal, and in Kerala they are not doing it for the simple reason they don't want to give space for BJP. That's the only reason. Otherwise, from Wayanad, this Rahul Gandhi came and won, which is well known to be a Islamic constituency. It's not something very unknown or anything. So, what could happen? Congress is getting slowly disappearing. It's in IC. It's between ICU and Mercury, if you ask me. So the tendency for them will be to go more and more toward the extremes. To support all these divisive forces and all these like farmers agitation. They say that I don't see any farmers there anyhow. And like that they may join with OAC also. I would not be surprised. And when you can join with the CPM, you can join with anybody else. There is no. So I am very concerned about it. Because Tamil Nadu has got a huge number of NGOs belonging to these church groups and also belonging to this madrasa group. Openly, many are telling in Jamaat we will decide whom we will vote. And Jamaat correspondingly, every Jamaat we will inform. And correspondingly, they alone will, that fellow will get the votes. And other type of argument there is whoever gives 2,000 rupees or 3,000. Tamil Nadu election is very simple. The voters will vote those who give money. And how it is respected, or some places I am told they take the arti and then camphor, they touch it and then say we will go by this after getting the money. So if it is 2,000, if there are 5-member, 4-member family, 8,000 rupees, not a small sum actually. And if it is 5-member family, 10,000 rupees. So you have to distribute. There is no other mechanism. So these groups, huge number of NGOs are operating, which are any type of project which comes in, they will immediately put a red flag. They are not going to allow. And as you know, that Sterlite has been practically closed. And the amount of money we are spending on importing copper is unbelievable. The main beneficiary of this is China, actually. And because they are becoming a net exporter now. And their factory, which is set up in Pakistan, is also doing very well. And so the Fisipiras and this type of what is called in the modern TV jargon, Tukde Gang, is will gain an enormous amount of importance in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. This is something I think one should be extremely concerned about or worried about. And whether DMK wins or loses, it doesn't matter. If it wins, it might be, postponed a little more. That's all. Nothing dramatic going to happen. But if AIDMK loses, again, AIDMK wins unless they win with a significant majority, which is very, uh, very difficult to foresee. If they are going to win with a moderate majority, then DMK will assert, and all these divisive forces will assert. Jayalalitha could deal with them because she had a very decisive majority. There was an election in 91 or something, if I remember. Almost all the constituencies AIDMK won, except one from where I think Karunanidhi won. And so that type of result is, according to me, is not very expected. But if AIDMK loses, there is a possibility that quite a number of them may jump ship and join BJP or any such, because they don't have a powerful leader unless they accept minimum as the unquestioned leader in the future. So interesting times are ahead, and Rajini not joining, I think we can leave it at that. And he is going to show finger or hand for anybody to be voted. I don't think it will carry anymore. In other words, his political credibility is very low. And obviously, you can't say that 31st I will announce and January I will form, and this and that. This he has been doing for nearly 20 years actually. So political credibility is different. Filmic credibility is totally different. And the film influence on politics hopefully should come down. And I only hope this Vijay type of people doesn't jump into that, because this is one of the problem in Tamil Nadu from 1940s I am talking about, N.S. Krishnan time and K.B. Sundarambal time onward. Politics has played a very major role in terms of influencing the film and vice versa for a long period of time. And not many people are even aware that in those days when it used to be single theatre, 2/3 of the cinema halls were located in south of the whole country. And of that 2/3 were located in Tamil Nadu only. So again, this type of statistics is mind-boggling actually. How much influence it could have created. And of course, now it is all multiplex and various other OTT and other things. And so the film exhibition is dying. Except recently there was a report suggesting this film actor Vijay went and requested the Chief Minister that 100% occupancy should be allowed in the cinema hall. I only hope they don't do it, because it will create more complication in terms of the current COVID crisis. Anyhow, film industry itself is in doldrum. Quite a number of them have folded, including in Hollywood, not just only in the Tamil or this Bollywood or anything. So when the film industry is on a downturn, the ability of the the film groups to influence politics also may come down. That will be a very, if you ask me honestly, it will be a very desirable type of a situation, because people otherwise will confuse between dream world and real world.
Real world and real world.
Real world and real world. Okay. So let us wait and see. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, and very interesting times ahead. We'll be keeping you posted on how these winds change, and we'll do a little bit more in-depth look at the leadership that has emerged in parties like BJP, which is fairly new. Professor RV and I will be doing that in the next couple of weeks or 4 weeks, because Rajini was the front and center. Now that person has stepped back, all the other people now start getting their share of the limelight. So we'll do that in a few weeks. Thank you very much, Professor RV, and we'll be back again. Namaskaram.